Squid Game didn't just change streaming. It grabbed the controller, reset the game, and handed us a candy that broke when you breathed wrong. Actors fainted, scripts got scrapped, and Season 3? It almost didn't happen at all. These are 20 weird facts about Squid Game Season 3. And the bonus? Let's just say, one of the players wasn't even human. Suit up. This game's about to get deadly again. Fact 1. Season 3 wasn't guaranteed, it was a fight. When Season 1 exploded, Netflix celebrated. But creator Hwang Dong-hyuk, he panicked. The pressure to outdo himself crushed him. He said in interviews that Season 2 was the hardest writing of his life. And by the time it wrapped, he wasn't sure he had another season in him. Netflix, meanwhile, saw dollar signs and global headlines. They wanted a third season yesterday. So they gave Hwang the rarest thing in TV time. Hwang retreated from the spotlight, turned down interviews, and disappeared to write in isolation. And months later, when he emerged, he had something darker, stranger, riskier. Season 3 wasn't guaranteed. It was fought for. Fact 2. Jung Jai directed parts of Season 3 himself. Jung Jai, who plays Jung Gi-hun, wasn't content with just acting this time. He stepped behind the camera. During key emotional scenes, Lee collaborated with the director, adjusting camera angles, guiding tone, and even reblocking scenes on set. He wasn't credited as a director, but cast and crew said he shaped some of the season's most powerful moments. After all, who knows Gi-hun's trauma better than the man who lived it? In the Squid Game, survival is about control. And in Season 3, Jung Jai took control of his character's fate and his own creative legacy. Fact 3. The frontman's backstory finally explodes. For 2 seasons, we only scratched the surface of the mysterious frontman played by Lee Byung-hun. But in Season 3, his story takes center stage. Flashbacks dive into his rise through the Squid Game ranks. We learn about his first game as a player, and the brutal choice that made him the cold, calculating leader we see today. And in a twist no one saw coming. The frontman's past collides with Gi-hun's mission for revenge. Because in Squid Game, the villains aren't born. They're made. Fact 4. The games are even deadlier. And Stranger Season 1 gave us childhood games turned deadly. Season 3? It gets weird. Without spoiling too much, let's just say, one game involves blindfolds and absolute silence. Another, you're playing against yourself, literally. And one final round is so physically grueling that multiple stunt doubles collapse during rehearsals. The new games aren't just designed to kill, they're designed to break your mind first. And yes, the giant animatronic doll returns, but this time she's not alone. Fact 5. Netflix's budget was almost cut mid-production. Despite the global hype, Squid Game's budget for Season 3 nearly got slashed. Why? Corporate chaos. Netflix went through layoffs, stock crashes, and leadership shakeups during filming. For a brief moment, the higher-ups debated reducing international production costs. That meant Squid Game, Netflix's biggest global hit ever, was on the chopping block for budget cuts. Hwang Dong-hyuk reportedly fought back. And for once, the suits listened, the budget stayed intact, and the production team breathed a sigh of relief, before getting back to rigging deadly booby traps for fictional contestants. Fact 6. Squid Game's new location? Even the crew got lost. Season 3 didn't stay on the same candy-colored sound stages. This time, the production team moved to a massive, abandoned shipping yard outside Busan. Think rusted cranes, forgotten containers, and enough hiding places for 100 deadly surprises. The place was so vast that crew members reportedly got lost between takes. One assistant director had to use GPS to find his way back to set. Another wandered so far off course he accidentally walked onto an active shipping dock mid-scene. And if the crew was lost, imagine how the players felt. Because in Season 3, the maze isn't just a metaphor, it's the battleground. Fact 7. Gi-hun's hair color came back. With meaning, remember Gi-hun's shocking red hair at the end of Season 1? It wasn't just a quirky style choice, it was a symbol of rebellion, transformation, and trauma. In Season 3, the hair color returns, but not in the way you expect. Without spoiling too much, let's just say color plays a huge role in decoding alliances, betrayals, and secret player rankings. Hwang Dong-hyuk said the red was inspired by the duality of Korean folklore, where red can symbolize both life and bloodshed. So next time you see that flash of crimson, it's not just style, it's a warning. Fact 8. One actor performed with a broken rib, Squid Game's physical challenges are no joke, and during one grueling stunt sequence, a new cast member, whose identity Netflix has kept under wraps, fractured a rib on set. Here's the crazy part. They didn't stop filming. The actor insisted on finishing the scene before seeking medical attention. According to cast reports, they wrapped the rib, adjusted the camera angles, and kept rolling. Later, during press interviews, the actor simply smiled and said, "In the Squid Game, quitting isn't an option. Dedication. Or maybe insanity." In this franchise, it's hard to tell the difference. Fact 9. The script had a secret ending no one knew about. Season 3's final script pages? They were kept under lock and key. Not even the full cast knew how it ended. Only the director, the lead actors, and a skeleton writing team had access to the real finale. The rest of the crew filmed decoy scenes, alternate endings designed to throw off leaks. Some fake endings included Gi-hun waking up in a hospital, implying it was all a dream. The frontman escaping to a new continent. A new character taking over the entire game system. None of them made the final cut, but they kept the internet guessing. And isn't that the real game? Fact 10. Netflix built a real-life Squid Game. With a twist. To promote Season 3, Netflix built a real-world Squid Game experience in Seoul. Contestants, fans, influencers, even journalists, competed in harmless versions of the show's iconic games. Red light, green light, Dalgona candy, marble matches. But here's the twist. Hidden among the players were undercover actors posing as guards and contestants. Their job? Stir chaos, create paranoia, break alliances. Some players figured it out, others got played. In the end, no one died. But friendships? Those didn't all survive. Fact 11. A hidden Easter egg connects Squid Game to another Netflix hit. Eagle-eyed viewers spotted something wild in episode 4 of season 3. A graffiti tag on the wall of a ruined game arena. It reads, 456 lives. But right below it, the logo from Alice in Borderland, Netflix's Japanese survival thriller. Coincidence? Not a chance. Hwang Dong-hyuk later confirmed it was a nod to the fan theory that Squid Game and Alice in Borderland share the same universe. No crossover is officially planned. Yet. But the door? Wide open. In the world of survival games, maybe the deadliest enemy is a competitor from another show. Fact 12. One game was so intense it made players cry for real. You'd think after 2 seasons the cast would be hardened. But one new game in Season 3 broke them emotionally. Without spoiling the rules, the game forced players to betray someone they trusted. Not in a flashy, action-packed showdown, but in a quiet, devastating choice. Multiple actors reportedly broke down during rehearsals. Some couldn't finish their scenes without taking long breaks. Netflix debated cutting the sequence for being too dark. But Hwang Dong-hyuk insisted. The real horror of Squid Game isn't the guns or explosions. It's the decisions you can't take back. Fact 13. The old man's story isn't over. Oh Il-nam, player 001, met his fate in Season 1. Or so we thought. In Season 3, we don't see him alive. But his presence lingers like a ghost. Flashbacks, hidden recordings, and secret documents reveal the true scope of his empire. Turns out, Oh Il-nam didn't just run the Korean Squid Game. He helped design versions of it around the world. His legacy haunts the new players. And just maybe, he set something in motion that no one can stop. Because in the Squid Game, the dead don't rest. They plan. Fact 14. The guards' symbols mean more than you think. The circles, triangles, and squares on the guards' masks weren't just random shapes. In Season 3, their meaning is finally explained. The symbols reflect ancient Korean class hierarchies. Circles for laborers, triangles for soldiers, squares for overseers. But here's the kicker. A new diamond symbol is introduced in Season 3. What does it mean? A new class of guard, one that doesn't follow orders, but rewrites them. Hierarchy just got a lot more dangerous. Fact 15. Gi-hun's motivation in Season 3 is completely different. Season 1 was about survival. Season 2 was about revenge. But Season 3? It's about justice. Gi-hun isn't just trying to take down the game. He's trying to expose it to the world. This time, he doesn't play for himself. He plays for the victims. But in doing so, he crosses lines he swore he never would. He manipulates, betrays, lies. Because when the rules are rigged, sometimes you have to cheat. The question is, What's left of Gi-hun when the game ends? Fact 16. The VIPs are recast and more sinister than ever. The infamous VIPs, those masked, wealthy puppeteers from Season 1, return in Season 3. But this time, they're completely recast. Gone are the cartoonish English-speaking villains. Season 3 introduces a new breed of VIP, colder, quieter, more terrifying. Their conversations? Minimal, calculated. They don't gloat, they observe. And the scariest part? They've expanded beyond Korea. Season 3 reveals the Squid Game isn't just a Korean phenomenon, it's global. The VIPs are from Wall Street, Moscow, Silicon Valley. And suddenly it's not just a game, it's an industry. Fact 17. One episode was directed in a single take. Episode 6 of Season 3 is a technical marvel. The entire main game sequence was shot as one continuous take. No hidden cuts, no camera switches, just 18 grueling minutes of non-stop choreographed chaos. Cast and crew rehearsed for weeks. One mistake, one trip, one missed mark, and they had to restart. On the 4th attempt, they nailed it. The exhaustion on the players' faces? Completely real. It's one of the most immersive moments in Squid Game history, and a reminder that sometimes the deadliest game is making great television. Fact 18. Netflix used AI to predict viewer reactions. In the most meta move yet, Netflix deployed AI algorithms to predict how audiences would respond to certain plot twists. Early cuts of Season 3 were tested against data from previous Netflix hits. Scenes that AI predicted would cause confusion or boredom? Cut. Moments flagged as likely to shock viewers? Amplified. Hwang Dong-hyuk joked that it was like playing Squid Game with the algorithm as your judge. But here's the twist. Some of the most daring choices ignored the AI's advice, because storytelling isn't just numbers, it's risk. Fact 19. The cast lived in isolation during filming. To build tension and chemistry, the main cast lived together in a controlled dormitory during filming. No phones, no internet, no contact with the outside world. They ate together, trained together, and even played versions of the games during downtime. The result? By the time the cameras rolled, their paranoia and alliances were absolutely real. One actor later said, "We didn't have to fake fear. We were already trapped in our own Squid Game." And honestly, that sounds terrifying, but effective. Fact 20. The show's ending is open for spin-offs. Season 3 ends on a massive cliffhanger, not just for Gi-hun, but for the entire Squid Game universe. Loose threads are everywhere. A new host rises from the shadows. Players from other countries start to surface. And the global network behind the games is far bigger than anyone imagined. Netflix hasn't confirmed a Season 4, but let's be real, this isn't the kind of game that ends quietly. Bonus fact. One player was a fully AI-generated character. In Season 3, Episode 2, there's a player who barely speaks. They follow the crowd, make strange choices, and seem oddly off. Turns out, they were partially AI-generated. A combination of a human body double and deepfake facial tech created the player's movements and reactions. It was Netflix's experiment to see if audiences could tell the difference. Some viewers spotted the uncanny valley, others didn't notice at all. The future of acting, or just another dangerous game? Only time, and maybe Season 4, will tell. Squid Game didn't just build a survival show, it built a mirror reflecting the hunger for money, power, and second chances. A mirror where the rich bet on the poor, and where the desperate are forced to play for their lives while the world watches and cheers. Season 3 broke the rules again. It blurred the line between player and villain, between justice and revenge. And in the end, it asked the same terrifying question. What would you do for a second chance? So if you loved chasing the chaos, hit like, smash subscribe, and tell us in the comments what twist left your jaw on the floor. Because in a world of streaming copycats, only one show made childhood games into a global nightmare. And somewhere out there, the next round is already waiting.